Evaluation question 4. Within the AS magazine, at the beginning, I only knew basic knowledge within Photoshop and InDesign. But as the first year went on, I gained different skills throughout. So, for example, I learned how to create text and make it into a gradient tone on there. Again, with the banner on the bottom, and how to create backdrops and things. Again, I knew I created the new with the sticker sort of look on there. I learnt how to do that by using Photoshop. Obviously, I get a stroke on the outside on there to make it a different colour, getting the different tones in there, and learnt how to use the magic wand tool a lot better. And obviously, I use other tools to go around the edges of the tile to make it a lot more neat. And as well, on the front cover of the main image, to go around that, it was zooming quite a lot and go around it really slowly to create the smooth look. As on her hair, there was loads of wispy bits and things like that, and I cut them out quite nicely on there. Same with the eyeshadow palette on there as well as different things. I learned how to style it a lot better, copying Wee Hot Pop very similar to that. And then obviously we've got on the contents page, learn how to line all the circles up with the numbers in to make it look a lot more neat on there. And overall, just learn a better way with the conventions and what looks good and what looks minimal and not enough really. Again, I learned how to create a barcode, changing the price and what content's on there as well. I've learned the rule of how many colours you should have on there as well, so it's not too much going on, so it's not just random, it's all planly thought out. Again, learned how the juxtaposition of things helps. Obviously the 43s next to the picture of the dog, which helps obviously to link the page 43 is about the dog on there. And overall, learn the order of the layers do make a big difference in the presentation of it all in the end. Again, in the AS magazine, got your double page spread on there. Again, just using Photoshop to edit these images, to smooth them out, is learned a lot of practice with that, because I used to be a bit edgy on that and it didn't work very well. But now I've kind of learned the best ways to do things and things like that, and know just developed and got better at it, to be honest. Again, same with the main image of the woman in the middle there. You carefully go around on the edges in there in your Photoshop and then edit it and paste it in your InDesign. So again, like I said, the first year has made me learn a lot more about editing photos and making them look a lot more professional, and knowing where to put things a lot more easier than just scattering them about randomly and not making them look as good and, conventional in a way. And also learned that the juxtaposition of things is very, very important to get the message across on what you were intending on. So themes obviously matter a lot. So because this is an autumn edition, there's lots of leaves in there to go nicely, which ties in quite well with the white in there to mellow away from the bright colours. So again, the A2 magazine, obviously I've got a lot more development this year on using techniques and things like that. Obviously the layout's very different because it's a regional magazine, but the tip of keeping a certain amount of colour in there really has helped the professional look of this design. And so I've learnt how the contents pages work with the numbers and the descriptions on there, and a few little more big ones with images in there, and obviously social media, website and email helps with that. Obviously the conventions, and that's what I've learnt really to help set that up. And again, with better techniques of editing in Photoshop, I've cut the masthead up with 2 slits, obviously it makes it a bit more edgy, but a bit different, which has helped within there. Again, this year I've learned that you could actually add add a screenshot of the maps in there. So I edit the Dog's Trust in there. Obviously that makes a whole load of difference to make it a bit more realistic in there. Just the overall use of Photoshop, knowing about the layers and the colours and things like that has helped a lot. Also with the Adopt Daisy at the bottom and there on the Dog's Trust advert, and knowing the conventions on there. Obviously, again, editing using the Polylasso tool, just to edit that all out as well. And again, just knowing what text looks good really. It's quite simple, quite plain. That's the sort of look I was going for, but it's not too minimal. It's a good amount. Obviously, you've learnt with the advertising a castle event, you need the basic information on there to attract the audience. You don't need too much, obviously, because of the type of magazine I've created as well. I've learnt to, in Photoshop, obviously, in the background of the castles, there were some people walking past. Learned how to edit them out sufficiently so not make it look wrong or anything, which is quite a big achievement for this year. I've learned how to do that, which is pretty good. Obviously I knew how to do the drop shadows and stuff and things like that before, but just little tweaks like that just makes a whole load of difference, and knowing how to change the image to black and white. So the billboard, again, I didn't really learn much more about presentation, just looking at other billboards and knowing how to set them out really. I've not really learned anything new from that one. For the website, I've learned a completely new, different application of Wix. I didn't know how to use this for the majority of the first week of getting this together. It was really confusing and trying to get it all together in there. But eventually you get the hang of it, so I've learned a whole new program, to be honest, how the different things work, so you can get the slides in there and things like that, and it's just learning a new program from scratch really. I didn't know how to use that last year, so that's a big improvement. The lessons that I've learned is I learned to time keep a lot better, because the 2 years have gone. I've got them done on time, but obviously at the last minute sort of thing. So I've learned that I need to think about things and getting them done in more of an efficient way, and going through programs a lot more to be learning. Obviously I've learned while I'm going, but if I learnt them before, the process would have been a lot quicker. The pros of Wix is that it's really easy to use, and you can get around there, and it's all set out a base on there for you to use pretty nicely. But the con is it does take you a long time to get your head around it, but once you've done that, it's pretty good. So again, Photoshop and InDesign is just, the cons of it is if you don't know the little tricks, it's a lot harder to get around things, but if you know little tricks, it's easier. So I've learned is just YouTube them. Makes it a lot more easier and a lot more quicker to learn things.